What's up, everybody? Josh with the Clearing Waivers podcast, back at it one more time. Appreciate you coming by. We got a good show for you this week. I think it might be a quick show. It might be a long show. We've said it's been a quick show before, then they go for 2.5 hours. So take that with a grain of salt. But we do have some fun things to talk about. The MLB Trade Deadline came and gone. Some interesting things kind of happened there. It's also fantasy football draft season, so we've got some pointers, if you will. We're all kind of mess with fantasy football a little bit. So we've got some sleepers, some busts, and some fun little branding that some of these players are going to get that we've made up. And then we're going to get into, I think we're going to do an extra shenanigan tonight. Some fan favorites kind of coming up. So we'll jump right in here to the clear the waivers. I guess we got to do the song first.
The biggest stories of the week, we're clearing the waivers.
Clearing the waivers. And before we do that, how's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good?
Great.
Doing good.
Everybody living well?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to.
Living the dream. Well, good. I hope you continue to live the dream. Same as the Sink Pissers. Hope you're all living the dream out there. But you heard the music. It's clearing the waivers time. Let's talk about the MLB Trade Deadline who came and gone. Kind of stick a little bit more to what happened with the Royals and how they made a couple trades. And then we'll talk about the Cleveland Indians kind of doing something pretty interesting there. But yeah, let's start with the Trevor Rosenthal to the San Diego Padres. He was always kind of the big buzz about any players that were going to be moved once the Royals decided to sell. He was on a one-year contract and he was going to be a free agent. Had some good stuff, but did kind of run into a little bit of hairy situations there in this last couple of weeks. But he did get sent to San Diego, who absolutely – I mean, if there was a buyer of any trade deadline of any baseball season, the San Diego Padres just set the bar on a whole other level. San Diego Padres are on another planet when it came to buying in this year, but they did buy both the big guy from Cleveland that we'll talk about and Trevor Rosenthal. But they traded Trevor Rosenthal to the Padres for Edward Olivares and a player to be named later. So, Brian, I guess what was your initial thoughts on this trade for Trevor Rosenthal?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't know a whole lot about the prospect himself, but I like the theory involved here as far as like you said, a rental player. There's a month left in the season. There's real talk about bringing Rosenthal back in the offseason should somebody not throw a lot of money at him. And I think that's going to be real interest on both sides there because he likes his guy Matheny. He likes how the Royals treated him and giving him a shot coming back this year. And reading Jeffrey Flanagan's articles, he made a lot more sense of it that, if Rosenthal goes out and dominates, he's probably going to make a lot of money somewhere else next year because the Royals aren't going to pay up a lot of money for him.
He's still relatively young too. I think 28.
Yeah, he's not a young guy. I think that's what you saw the difference there between Rosenthal and Holland too, because I think there's not nearly as many people breaking down the doors to trade for Holland. He's relying on a lot of junk balls right now. Rosenthal has refound his flame. He's got 99 still in the tank, so I think there's going to be a bigger market in the free agency next year for him. So it made a lot more sense to hang on to Holland, and people were just basically giving up the equivalent of a player to be named later for a guy that was, in Holland's tier. I guess some guys got traded around that were in Holland's tier, and they were just getting super, super lottery tickets that probably are never going to hit. And when you got this guy, it sounds like basically the right-handed version of Franchy Cordero, which we also got from the Padres, 24-year-old guy. He immediately becomes the number 22 prospect in our system, according to MLBpipeline.com. So you like the idea of we gave up a month of a guy that we signed for nothing for a top 30 prospect in our league, and we restock the system a little bit. And all these guys, in their mid-20s that have all the tools but haven't completely put it together yet, it clicks for some of these guys at some point. So we're just trying to gather a bunch of them and see who sticks because the guy we're going to talk about next is a guy that we did that for, and he never did bring it all together.
Yep. And that's what he pretty much is. He's got some big-time speed, athleticism, power, defense is solid, but he's got some contact issues. And I think if he figures that out somehow, works with Mike Tosar, if he gets it figured out, those are the guys that just start skyrocketing up prospect boards, and those guys are the guys that turn franchises around. when you start to be able to add huge power like Franchi and Olivares do, as long as speed. Talk about speed. The 3 leaders in the Texas League, which is what the AA league that the Royals affiliate plays for, the top 3 leaders in stolen bases last year were Khalil Lee, Nick Heath, and Edward Olivares.
We got them all now.
Got them all now. So it's I mean, that's not a bad thing. Even, I mean, any one of those guys could be a 4th outfielder with elite speed and great tools. And if somebody figures out how to hit the ball, I mean, we got something to work with there. But
and between him and Franchi, we're getting a guy like we tried to do the same thing when we got Brian Goodwin from the Nationals. He's a former top 100 prospect type of guy that, you know, has the tools. He just never put it together for Washington. We brought him in. He struggled with us for a little bit, was terrible in spring training. We kind of cut bait on him. And then he just figured it out and went to L.A.
Yep.
Yeah. He goes to L.A. He just got dealt to a contender. So
did he go to the Cubs?
I don't remember what it was.
Maybe the Reds. I can't remember. But, yeah.
Reds sound right.
He just got dealt to a contender, yeah.
I felt like the Royals gave up on him a tad bit early compared to how long they hold on to some of these other losers.
Yep.
Yeah. It's tough. He was hitting like 118 that spring training.
Yeah, I know it was ugly.
So it's kind of, you can be there and sort of sit and like get pissed off that Brian Goodwin is off producing, but at the same time, it's hard to blame him for what he did produce there in Kansas City. But yeah, I think he's a project, lots of upside. I think it kind of is very indicative of what kind of outfielders the Royals like. They love guys, athletes with great speed, decent or good defense, power to boot. That just they feel like if they could fix that swing, boy, they really take off. And I don't hate that. I mean, you throw 5 or 6 of those guys like Khalil Lee, Suli Matias, Franchi, you could throw Brett Phillips in there, all these dudes that, you know, flash a lot of power, and then they have the speed and something that they do something else elite. Once that one thing is missing, it comes up. I mean, they're in good shape. So they don't need much to hit. If 1 out of 7 works, they're in good shape.
Yeah.
Well, we did mention that Brett Phillips was also dealt. My man crush since he came into Kansas City. I was a big fan of Brett Phillips. I love that kid so much. It broke my heart that he never really – I don't think he ever got a fair shake. But, I mean, he didn't do much to deserve it at the plate. He was very, very good in the field, great in the clubhouse presence. I always said that he was one of the better guys that the Royals could potentially market. Super marketable guy, likable. Everybody likes him. But he was dealt. He ran out of options, ran out of opportunities, and wasn't doing much. So he was sent to the Tampa Bay Rays, which is great because they know how to develop kids. I think he's 26 now. They do really good develop, and he's from Florida. So I think it was a pretty good change of scenery. If he's gonna go and do something, it's gonna be with the Rays. But he was dealt for the number 20. He was 19th prospect in the Rays system with very good name. It's a very fun name. Old Lucius Fox. What a great name there. But he's a switch hitting, super athletic middle infielder, great speed, decent defense, also contact issues. Also seems to be a trend that the Royals love is soft hitting, if they even touch the ball, soft hitting, switch hitting.
So we're just going to stockpile a bunch of
great guys.
Stockpile a bunch of guys that hit the ball, hit 200 and OPS of 500 and might steal 10 bases. That's
they can run. That's right.
Great way to build a.
Tony Pena Jr. is running around the clubhouse there.
We've already got
stockpile guys with elite speed that can't get on base.
Well, to that issue, he does have a good plate approach. He doesn't make a lot of contact, but he does walk quite a bit. So it's not a terrible thing, and that's certainly
better.
Kind of a different take, or a different, I guess, something different that the Royals don't usually find is they love free swingers. Regardless of where they play, they do not care about whether they can take a pitch or not. And Lucius Fox seems to be able to do that.
Yeah, and he's 23-year-old still. I mean, that he's kind of been judged harshly because he came in as an 18-year-old signing, and so people have kind of made up their mind. He's played in the minor league systems for 4 or 5 years now, So, I mean, it's not like his tools have diminished at all. And like you said, Dayton Moore's got a type when it comes to outfielders. He's got a type also when it comes to infielders. He wants middle infielders that can have range and play defense. And if they can hit, that's okay, but that's not really what we're going for. It's kind of hard to find a middle infielder that's going to rake and play defense in this league.
Yep,
especially when you're trading away a guy that you basically given up on in the as an outfield prospect, and Brett Phillips. And like you said, we want nothing but success for him in Tampa because he's an awesome dude. But Lucius Fox is just the sexiest name you could ever have in baseball. I think he's just smooth as hell. I watched some interviews with him, and he just seems like he's an energetic dude. So we're kind of trading away an energetic, fun-loving guy for another one. So maybe he'll bring a little bit to the clubhouse. Who knows if he ever sees the majors in a significant role. But the Tampa Bay Rays did try him out at a bunch of different positions. So he's also got the ability to maybe be a super utility guy down the road. We love those guys too, right? Yep. We love those guys too. So it's hard to make a call on if this is the right thing to do or not. But like you said, if they're not going to give Brett Phillips, his fair shake at claiming a spot, and we're going to keep trotting Alex Gordon out there every day, then I hope he goes and succeeds somewhere else, and hopefully Lucius Fox becomes a foxy player for us.
Foxy. You could not get that out fast enough, could you?
Foxy.
Just popped in my brain.
Oh, Foxy. I guess one good thing about it is he was the number 10 prospect for a loaded Tampa Bay Rays system in 2018. So
yeah, and they've
prospect pedigree.
They've reslot him at number 24 in our system now currently. Yep. And like you said, he did play in the Futures All-Star game. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this is a highly thought of guy when he was young, but he just hasn't really produced like everybody wanted. So,
and I think you made the point, he's still pretty young for the levels he's playing at. I mean, switch hitting, shortstop, great field, good speed, could be something that hasn't necessarily shown, and he's been playing young at his levels. Who does that sound like to you? Adalberto Mondesi is the correct answer.
Okay.
Played young in every level he was at. Kitty's face says it all.
Really working out for us right there.
Yep. That's that's what it sounded like to me. He's maybe not on that level, Lucius isn't, but
you're talking about the 2021 comeback player of the year, right?
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
We should probably get that on the record.
Let's just keep making bets against them, Kitty. Yeah. They just keep digging deeper.
750 OPS over under. I'm going under.
750.
Oh, God, that's tough.
No, it was 800. Now you're dropping it to 750.
I'll give BK 50 more points.
It's just so hard because he doesn't. He refuses to walk. It's just so hard to get that number.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see. But yeah, Lucius Fox, I mean, they took a log jam in the outfield. They added 2 more guys into it with Franchi and Olivares, but they did get rid of Brett Phillips, add to the middle infielder depth, which they certainly needed. So with Mondi struggling, who knows? We might see Lucius by the end of the year. Who the hell knows? But let's move on to the final one, the big one. I guess this is the biggest one that kind of happened in the entire MLB trade deadline was Mike Clevenger going to the Padres. He has 2.5 years of control, I believe. They sent Clevenger and Greg Allen to San Diego for 6 players, which what a haul that is, first off. But they got pretty much 3 major league ready guys that are decent, have already shown guys they're all young, and then 3 solid prospects. I mean, the Indians aren't necessarily rebuilding. They're just kind of restocking. They have a sneaky good farm system already. I mean, this is kind of what I wanted the Royals to do back in 2017. But I'll take all those comp picks. Don't get me wrong. What they did with them is also very exciting and why we're talking about the being hopeful for the future. But yeah, that was kind of the big one of the entire trade deadline. And it certainly, indirectly or directly, whatever you kind of think, affects the Royals in that the Royals window is going to start opening here in the next couple of seasons, hopefully. But the Indians are going to be right there. The White Sox are already their contention window is wide open. Mm-hmm. The Twins are right in the middle of it. So the Tigers have a good system, the best system in the Central. So this is going to get really interesting between these 5 teams, and over the next couple seasons, it's going to get going to be hotly contested, I think.
Yeah, and it's good riddance to that stupid haircut and that stupid rocking on the mound that he
wind-up
did
thing.
every time. I'm so glad we don't have to see him like 6 times a year anymore.
Mhm.
And that has nothing to do with his 1.98 ERA against Kansas City in his career.
Not
Pretty
at all.
good.
It's
Pretty
not
good.
bad. I think I saw something today that said since 2017, he had the second best ERA from starting pitchers after Max Scherzer, I think is what I saw, which seems very.
He's been damn good.
That's not bad.
right.
It's pretty good.
But
Yeah,
they
that's not bad.
didn't completely blow it up. Like you said, they're still not giving up and completely unloading. And I think the assumption is still that Lindor probably gets dealt in the offseason because they just don't want to pay him what he's going to command. And like you said, they've got to operate kind of like us. Is if you're not going to pay a guy, you got to get all the assets you can for him before they bail on you.
Jesus, and that package might even be bigger.
Oh, it's going to be bigger.
Yeah, he's about the only one left, isn't he?
I mean, he's got Jose
far as-
Ramirez.
Jose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
He could
forgot
probably
about
trade
Ramirez.
Carlos Santana and get something back pretty good.
Franmil Reyes is a masher.
Yep.
He mashed one tonight off Matt Harvey.
He looked good last night too. The other interesting part about bringing Lindor into this is there were 2 prospects in that package, both of them shortstops. One of them, Arias, is pretty highly regarded, and then the other one's mostly a second baseman, but he can definitely play shortstop, and he could be MLB caliber as well. So
Writing on the wall.
right, yep. Might as well have the guy replacing him already in the system by the time it's time. So yeah, but the other interesting thing about this is the fact that we could very well see there was a bunch of rumblings here in the last couple of weeks that you look at the Royals core 4 plus Keller. I mean, you already got 5 guys on rotation. That's not including Asa Lacy. So there's a very good possibility that the Royals could pull off something like this in a couple of years with, I mean, you throw Singer and Nick Heath out, and, I mean, why not bring a package like this back? So they do need some bats. They do need some prospect bats that they can kind of throw towards the wall, in my opinion, to bolster that system and make them that much more, better. And, I mean, we could really – that could be a precursor. This trade could be a trade example that we could point to down the road, be like, this is a package we could potentially get, and if it's out there, we should go get it.
Yeah, and you may be talking about that being Brad Keller being dealt as Mike Clevenger in that time frame because, my God, that guy's so underappreciated across baseball.
100%.
If you look at him compared to the guys that they love to suck off at continually, even in last night's game, all they could talk about was Bieber and his no-hit through 6 and 7 Ks, and Keller was right there going toe-to-toe with him. So, I mean, people need to wake up and recognize Bad Brad is here to stay, hopefully.
Arguably better than Bieber last night because Bieber had like 4 or 5 walks, gave up 1 hit on top of that. But
What was
I think
that
Keller
crazy
only had like 1.
Cody Tapp tweet about he hasn't given up he's given up 2 extra base hits or something like this entire year.
Keller or Bieber?
Keller he's given up 2 extra base hits, 0 home runs. He's been incredible.
Yep. He might be he absolutely might be a dog, and at this point we could start talking about extension for him, and I don't know who else we would be thinking about that with at the moment. But Keller's probably got the best case at this moment, but regardless, it kind of probably seems like the Royals 2020 season probably done. They didn't. I mean, Rosenthal and Brett Phillips isn't by no means selling. We could definitely fill both of those shoes pretty easily, but they got to get their act together if they're trying to get in.
Those guys just probably aren't part of your future, right?
Right.
And that's what we're doing here. I mean, 2 guys that probably aren't going to be part of that window next. I know there are articles all over that people were disappointed that we didn't blow it up more than we did, and we didn't trade Witt once again. And I don't know why people keep wanting to trade Witt, Josh, but Witt's going to be very much a part of this team the next 2 or 3 years. And he's that guy, when he comes up to hit, I just expect him to get a hit every time. I love watching him play.
I'm just curious about his actual trade value. I think as Royals fans ourselves, we're going to expect it to be a lot more than it really is.
Sure.
Because he's already on the wrong side of 30 for baseball, and a lot of his game is around speed. Versatility is always going to be nice in the field, but a lot of speed game and already advanced age, I kind of think his value on the market isn't as much as we think it is.
Yeah.
The thing about that is, though, We've been saying that for the last 2 seasons, and he's only gotten better. I mean, this year he's going off the charts with how good he's gone. So, I mean, at some point, I mean, why would you continue to keep telling yourself that just so you're right one time out of the next 5 years? And his contract would have been the most he got paid, right? This prorated season, or was this the year he didn't get paid? I can't remember exactly, but he's, I mean, cheaper than he was prior to the year.
I mean, we all know how valuable Ben Zobrist was to this team when we traded for him, and he's still way ahead of Ben Zobrist at that time.
Yeah,
he can be Ben Zobrist's equivalent in 4 or 5 years, probably.
Yeah,
still.
I just hope he's not the guy that misses the boat on both of these contention windows.
No shit, that would be a bummer.
He comes in the season after they were in the mix, and then he leaves right before it starts again. That would be brutal. Yeah, I do love Witt. I mean, I can't deny that I get a little antsy when his name comes up in trade rumors because I know he could probably bring something. But
you always want to get those prospects, Josh.
I do.
Even if it's in fantasy or real life.
That's true. It's true. Fantasy's worked out though.
Sure.
We'll see. This year, not looking great. Move into the speaking of fantasy football. Like I said,
I tried to give that to you right on a slow pitch.
I keep missing it. I keep missing these volleyball settings that you keep giving me, and I'm just like, oh look, that's pretty. that was a set. I should have spiked that. Yeah. Fantasy football is definitely upon us. Draft season's happening. We've already had a couple drafts, I believe, between all of us. We got some more coming up. So we would kind of wanted to give our stupid opinions about some sleepers, some busts, and then a category we've kind of invented, dead to me, which we can kind of get into once we kind of break the ice here. So let's start with everybody's sleepers. Ransom, we'll start with you. Who's your sleeper for the 2020 NFL football season?
I'm going with my boy Michael Gallup.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I watch all the Cowboys games. You know, if you look at the big picture overall, last year he was just as good as Cooper, if not better. Definitely more consistent. He's going in the 6th or 7th round. I mean, I think that guy can be elite wide receiver. He's got speed, he's got height, he's got athleticism. I know there's a lot of weapons, they always say Dallas has a lot of weapons, but I mean, he's going to be, and they don't always, it always pans out to 8.
Not always.
Don't get me started. I mean, I think, he had over 1,000 yards last year, 7 touchdowns. I really think the guy's going to be pretty good. And
there's no real reason why he would drop off.
There's not. There's really not. I mean, you're going to add Lamb, and he's going to be in a lot of single coverages. I think he's going to be pretty good. I think he's be in the, definitely top 15, in wideouts. So
where's he
that'd
going
be my
now?
sleeper.
He's 6 or 7.
Yeah, 6th or 7th round. I don't know. 63 is ADP.
Yeah, I saw him as the 28th wide receiver up the board. Or something on
and I think he'll definitely finish better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on my list. That's why I know this I don't know stuff off the top of my head about what Gallup got. He's on my list too. He was on my list. I did more than one just in case someone would steal mine.
Sure. Well, what is your number one sleeper then if it's not Gallup?
Matt Stafford.
Okay.
He's going the 9th round right now. I think he was the 10th or 11th QB on the list, and last year when he was healthy, the games he played, he was 4th in points per game. Basically, even with Dak Prescott in points per game that he played. So, you're getting possible number 4 or number 5 quarterback in the 9th round there. So I think, and that offense, even though they've changed coaching staffs out there, Stafford still just seems to put up numbers when he's in
Slings
there.
It.
He just gets his 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns when he's playing all 16 games. So,
and Galladay's legit.
Galladay's out there on the wing for him.
Marvin Jones is still pretty good.
If you got to
take a step forward,
if Swift, Hawkinson can be healthy. He came out lights on fire last year, and then he got hurt immediately.
Yeah.
But then you also have if Swift can be healthy and get a nice little 1-2 punch with Kerryon Johnson, that offense shouldn't lose too much of that offense. So I think Stafford could be a really good later round pick of a quarterback if you don't want to spend early on.
Yep. I don't hate that at all. If you're one of those guys that doesn't like to do overspend on the quarterbacks there at the front, then you can find really good value. I think in my in our PPR redraft, I got Cam Newton there. I think in probably my last pick, I really like that value, but he's my QB1. So we'll see. I'm not a believer in Cam Newton or the Patriots this year, but let's go. I'm willing to be wrong once, but not twice.
Is that your sleeper?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh,
That's just a really good pick. That's just a really good pick on my part.
He's just touting his good picks of the year.
Yep. Brian, what's your sleeper for the year?
It's not necessarily a sleeper, but it's a guy that I want you to target above his ADP right now. And I am all in. I'm buying all stocks in the Arizona offense this year. I love Kenyon Drake. I had him on my team last year, and once he got traded to Arizona, they set him free. I mean, he was stuck in Miami on these crappy offenses. He goes to a good offense that's still kind of figuring out the offense. His last 8 games, he was running back number 4 on the year in that span. So that's the kind of ceiling this guy has in an offense. Injuries are always going to be a question with him, but right now he's going running back 11, and I think he could be a top 5 running back.
Yeah.
Look at the guys going ahead of him, Derrick Henry type of guys, Joe Mixon type of guys. I mean, I feel good about taking Kenyon Drake high. He's probably going to fall a little bit, so you can nab him at the end of the first round if you don't feel like he's going to come back in the second. But I love Kenyon Drake. I love Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's going, I think, like running or quarterback 4 now. But there's another guy. I think, people aren't going to laugh at you if you say he's going to be QB1 at the end of the year, because that offense in his second season, I think it's ready to take off. And then you add Hopkins as a weapon. I think that offense is just going to put up points and points and points. So they're going to be so much fun to watch this year. So grab you some Arizona Cardinals.
I think the last time I saw was Drake in a walking boot.
Yeah, but that was just kind of precautions. Yep.
Well, if you're investing Kenyon Drake, be sure to get some Chase Edmonds in your life, because if Drake does go down, boy, Edmonds is going to be a player.
Yeah, and he's got skills too.
Yep.
He's a good player. He filled in for David Johnson the year before that, and he put up some nice numbers whenever David Johnson went down.
One of those few guys that if he's a handcuff, he can turn into an RB1 real fast. Boys, my sleeper, I've got a big old Chubb. Nick Chubb is my sleeper. I love Nick Chubb. I've liked him ever since he was in Georgia, just torching Mizzou on a regular basis. But he's going 15th overall. I think he's got top 5 upside as well, in my opinion. People are going to be scared away with Kareem's presence there, but even when Kareem was around, he was still scoring a lot of points, catching the ball. Maybe Kareem takes away some of those receptions, but he almost rushed for 1,500 yards last season. That's not going anywhere. He was tied for the most rushing attempts within the 10-yard line last season, 32 rushing attempts within the 10-yard line. He scored 4 touchdowns. So if he still gets that, they've improved the offensive line. If he even gets half of those back, then he's going to be outproducing his 15th overall, I think.
He was on my bus list.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Also, you guys remember when Kareem Hunt was stopped in traffic last January, right?
That's fine.
I mean, what became of that? I know he didn't get any charges, but surely that's a substance abuse. I mean, they found weed in his car.
Where was he?
Big deal.
He's in the game. Put him in the game, baby.
What state was he pulled over?
Ohio. It was in Cleveland.
Yeah, okay.
It was one of those, the same thing that's happened in Kansas City, where they passed that same thing, where if it's up to a certain point, they're not going to mess with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Forget about it.
That still seems like a substance abuse thing, but maybe that's just, I want Nick Chubb to blow up.
I took him in 2 drafts. I took Hunt, so nothing better happened.
You probably won't regret that investment. I'm going to start with my bust. And boys, I'm going to tell you, Lamar Jackson is going to plummet this year.
On my board.
Big
my
time bust. Big time bust.
list.
Plummet. Sophomore slump is a coming, baby. Last year, he won leagues. He's a hell of an athlete, great quarterback, great season last year. But that seldomly repeats, especially with mobile quarterbacks. He escaped most of that last year without any big injuries, which is probably, not going to happen again. League tends to figure out mobile quarterbacks fairly quickly, and he's on the Madden cover. We know how that goes. I think arguably you could probably argue that Patty Mahomes defied that curse, but even he didn't live up to his draft position last year. So Lamar Jackson not going to live up. I think he's going 24th overall right now. Back of the second round, just let him go and go somewhere else. Leave Lamar on the train.
Get Kyler Murray.
With the Lamar Jackson, everything went right for him too, because he didn't have a whole lot of passing attempts, and he had way too high of a touchdown percentage for how many times he threw the ball. I think some of that was obviously because you get inside the red zone, they're scared of him running the ball, and then he gets some little more open receivers than he normally would. So a lot of stuff broke right for Lamar Jackson last year. So I'm with you on that bust label there.
There were two things in the Chiefs game that should have been picks that were touchdowns instead.
Yeah, he threw 50-50 balls.
Unbelievable.
Just threw it up.
And I didn't. That was right before they started rolling. So after that, it probably, he was putting up MVP numbers, obviously, but I don't think he's going to do it again. Rance, you disagree with me on this? You seem to be.
I just don't think he's going to be a bust.
Well,
his numbers might go down a bit, but
bust.
It's not going to be a bust.
Fucking
Well,
bust.
these teams haven't even been able to get out and do anything on the field. He's going to torch them. Shit, the defenses, you guys, they haven't been able to practice, do jack shit. They're going to get work. The defenses, I'm telling you, in early weeks, there's going to be high-scoring games because the defenses are going to have no clue.
Yeah. But that doesn't apply to offenses, obviously.
Hell, they're in
locked
rhythm.
in. They're locked in.
Ready to go.
They're getting all the reps. They're locked in.
Brian, who's your bust for the year?
This is kind of a scary one. I think I'm on an island here, but I'm going Chris Godwin.
Oh, yeah.
I look at the top wide receivers going. The top five: Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Tyreek, Julio, DeAndre Hopkins. Those are top five. I think if you draft them, you're feeling good about it. Once you get to six, you're looking at Chris Godwin's going wide receiver 6 right now, and I just have a much different feeling about taking him compared to any of those top 5 guys because, Brady's going to be all about who he's comfortable with, right? And, Jameis liked throwing to Godwin a lot last year, and they've got so many guys as options for him to use next year, and I just don't know how many chips I'm willing to put in on Godwin repeating that success. I think he could really rely on Gronk. I think he could really rely on Mike Evans a lot more than Godwin. Godwin's a great player. I just wonder how much he's going to get at that position. I got to take him because right after that, you're looking at Kenny Galladay, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper. Those guys I even feel more comfortable with repeating what they did last year compared to Chris Godwin.
I like that.
So I think he's due for a drop-off as far as not living up to his ADP right now.
Yep.
And Brady not being able to chuck it down the field. I think those Evans and Godwin, they're as bad as Jameis was. That's one thing that guy could do.
He'd give you a chance.
Yeah, he'd launch it down there for you.
And Brady's not going to make those throws. He's not even going to try to attempt it.
That's
he won't be in the pocket that long. The balls be gone way before he has a chance to do any running around and launching it like Winston would do.
Yeah, and I think that's been a huge thing that's been left out when people talk about, well, the Bucs are not going to turn it over like they did last year, so they're going to be great, right? You have all these passing yards, have all these touchdowns, cut out the turnovers. Who's stopping them? But Brady's also not going to take the risks that Jameson did and fit in those tight windows because he also racked up a lot of yards and catches and points by forcing balls that Brady's just not going to do. Yeah. I think they're going to punt it a whole lot more than they did with Jameis behind center, and so I don't think you're going to see as many yards or even maybe points. You're not going to see the turnovers, and maybe that's what they want at the end of the day. But I just don't think you're going to see the video game numbers coming out of Tampa Bay like you saw last year.
Some would argue that Brady just can't throw that ball anymore. It's me. I would argue that. Just flat out can't do it.
What's your over-under on Brady TDs? Anybody got an idea? I was thinking about that kind of today.
I think he'll have a decent number compared to.
You think he'll get to 30?
I think 30 is a good number to talk about.
I say 26.
Yeah, that's right in the wheelhouse I think you're in.
I'd pray slightly under 30, I'd guess.
26, 30, yep.
Is 30 what it is?
I don't know. I was just throwing it out there. I was just curious.
I'm curious to see what happens in the Tampa Bay period because I don't think they still have a run game. So
If they sign
we'll see.
Fournette, they will.
Or Devontae Adams.
Or trade for
No, I'm sorry, Devontae
Kamara.
Freeman. I mean,
Devontae Freeman.
Freeman. Yeah, he's still out there looking for a job.
Washed. Kitty, let's go back to your bust.
Nick Chubb, bust of the year.
All you got.
Number 12 running back going off the board this year. I mean,
I smell a bet coming on.
he had a great year last year. I mean, you're right. But it was all in the first 8 weeks before Hunt got there.
It was very good. Yeah.
He never went under 10 points in the first 8 weeks of the season. Second half of the year, 4 times he went under 8 or under 10 points.
That's a good
Half
stat.
his weeks are going under 10. He's just, I mean, Hunt just takes away too many opportunities for him.
On average, it was 4 a game.
Well, he scored less than 10 points.
Well, his offensive line was
That was
shit.
enough.
So was that entire offense.
That was enough.
The
Oh,
entire
whoa.
offense wasn't.
Whoa. Baker
shambles.
Mayfield,
Terrible.
OBJ, little
Awful.
Jarvis Landry. That's just
Puke
a
face.
solid team. Solid.
It should be on paper. It's on Madden. It's a really good team.
That's Stefanski, that guy. He likes to run a lot of
He
screens.
does like to run.
They love screens, and you got to think Kareem Hunt's going to be in on those screens. a lot.
Yep.
I would think so.
I don't hate that in a PPR rant. I kind of like that Kareem Hunt pick as long as he doesn't get suspended for this thing.
And it's very
But-
possible that he
yeah.
still could.
Definitely.
I just looked at the latest Tom Brady over-under number, and it's 29.5, so we nailed it, guys.
Whoa, well done.
Nice
Yeah.
work, team. Nice work.
That's why you come to the Clear Waivers podcast because we can nail those lines in the gambling really well. We just can't predict them. Very
No,
well.
we don't tell you what side it'll be on.
Yeah. But we do, but it's just always wrong. Fade
Yes, sir.
fade us always.
Absolutely.
Which we'll have some gambling picks probably next week. Next week we'll probably have an NFL week.
Yeah, I mean, so at
preview the
this
season.
point,
Getting some
everyone
lines.
just throw their money on Brady over 29.5. Sounds like we're all
Yeah.
under. So pad
That
those wallets
MVP
in
season.
about 4
Yeah,
months,
right.
boys, with that over 30.
Uh-huh. Rance, you got a bust?
Yep. I'm going back to the big D, and I'm going with Amari Cooper, fellas.
did that pain you at all, or are you like doing it out of spite now?
No, it just, when guys get a big payday, they've added a couple extra weapons. I'm not saying he's going to have a bad year, but he's getting picked late second round, early third at the very latest. I don't know. I just, a lot of times when guys get that big payday, something happens to them. They just they're not working as hard. Maybe they don't put as much effort in there. And he's taking plays off, and he's had games in fantasy where that guy ain't going to hardly get you any points. He might get you 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. He might get you 1 catch for 12 yards.
Yep.
You have no freaking clue.
He
He's
might
on
be
my list too.
the highest peaks and the lowest valleys. He might be
Absolutely.
the vast variation.
And you never,
Right.
and he does play injured, but he's injured all the time.
All the time.
He's got something every single week. He's got something.
Yep.
He was on
was
my
a-
list too. He's 6 games under 10 points last year, 8 games under 10 points the year before that. He makes his season stats look great by having 3 ridiculous weeks every year.
Like all
Usually
the Chargers
Thanksgiving.
games.
He'll go a Thanksgiving game, he'll get 250 with 3 touchdowns, then he'll
Yep.
throw in another primetime game where he puts up 200 yards again. So I mean, he'll pad his full season stats with 2
Yep.
or 3 games.
He was on the tip of my tongue with Dead to Me because that
Because of
Gilmore
that.
game last year where he just put up a big goose egg. They went into
Against
New
the
England and
Patriots,
got shut down.
He had 1 target, no catches.
Yeah.
Good.
Rance, give me your dead to me player.
I'm
Player
only
you're
thinking-
never ever gonna roster in your life ever
Yep.
again.
I've got him. He's the first guy I wrote down, and I'm not saying he's not talented because I know he is, but he's never used properly, and they screw David Montgomery. I'm never picking him.
No.
They hose him. They don't
Yeah.
give him any touches. They don't get him involved in anything. They want to let Trubisky throw 35, 40 times a game. I don't know what the hell they're doing there in Chicago. Like, get this guy the ball. I think he's a playmaker. I think he can be pretty good, but I've drafted him before, and he got nothing hardly last year, and it wasn't really his fault. But I'm not going back to that well again. I'm not not doing it. They just, I mean, they don't seem to utilize their backs at all, or nor do they care about running the ball at all there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you would think if you'd had a quarterback the caliber of Mitch Trubisky, that would be one of the first things you'd try to do.
Yeah.
Is run the ball.
Yeah.
So
It's tough. It's tough. He's had 1 year in the league and he's already dead to rants.
he's dead.
Dead.
I took him high last year and I paid. So he's
Dearly.
dead. He's dead to me right now.
Well, we've had a bust that I got 2 players in the dynasty league that we're in. I got 2 players on the bust list and then they're dead to me. So I'm doing really good so far. This is going to be a great year. Kitty, back to you for dead to me.
Old Big Ben.
Okay.
Man, that guy just – when I don't have him, he puts up a monster season. When I do have him, he just seems to just shit the bed every time. So
Mhm.
I'm just wrong on that guy every time. And he also – I mean, he should have been dead to me just when he puts on that stupid Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. But he's done. Get him – never again. Not fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 5 more times. Jesus, what's wrong with me? He is dead. No more Big Ben.
Oh, Big Ben.
You said he'll shits the bed for you. He seems like a dude that just literally does that quite often, like way more often than most people.
I know. He gives me hope that I still got a chance to get out there and chuck a few balls with this beer gut, and he looked like he just hammered 30 wings. Like, I mean, he's the most unkept,
Yeah, that off-season
just
beard
a
was
big
pretty
old
gnarly.
boiler out there just chucking it around.
Yep. Oh, that's good. All right, Brian, you're dead to me.
Well, you can add another one to your list, Josh, because
All
Cam Newton is dead to me.
Okay.
Because he's dead to the rest of the league. The guy was out there to be had for nothing, and nobody wanted to take a chance on him until the Patriots said, okay, fine, come along. And then since then, everyone's just decided, hey, Cam's back, everybody. He's going to be good.
Yeah.
He's going to go in this offense. They're going to use him differently. Bill Belichick's talking him up as such a hard worker. Did we all forget why Tom Brady wanted the fuck out of New England? Because he doesn't have anybody to throw to, guys. There's nobody around him that's going to help him when he's past his prime at best and completely washed at worst. So I do not want to touch him. He's going QB 13 right now, ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
Can't believe
What are we doing here?
Oof,
Who's
goof.
taking him that early? In the 2
I don't
leagues
know.
that he got taken late. One was like in the very last round.
That was me. There were
And then
12
another one I
quarterbacks
was
taken in the quarter in that league. He was like number 18.
Who's picking him that early?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they formulate this data off millions of drafts, so
Yeah.
I don't know who it
Jesus.
is, but they're insane.
I agree.
A lot of Patriots fans running around in there. Everybody wants to be right about. That's one of those picks. Like it's a cute pick. Everybody wants to be right about
Yeah.
it.
Look, I knew it. I nailed
Yep.
it.
And people thinking of Cam from 6 years ago instead of what we saw last year,
Right.
the year before that.
It's something to be said that there was a video yesterday that they were all doing calisthenics and warm-ups and they were stretching and doing their stuff and Cam's just over there dancing through all the calisthenics. It was like,
That's a win, baby.
oh no,
He's just going to win.
Yep.
He can dance.
Yep.
real team chemistry guy, that Cam Newton. My dead to me is Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley can go all the way away from my fantasy football rosters. 2 seasons ago, I was going to have the best fantasy football season of my life. And then I met Todd Gurley in the playoffs, and all my hopes were dashed. Absolutely crushed me in 2-3 different leagues. So I felt like I better get on this ride, better get on this wave last season. Picked him first round. It was towards the back, but he's still getting the best. Nope. He found another way to absolutely screw me and dick me over. Todd Gurley is dead to me. I mean, he's in Atlanta now, got a 1-year deal, so it's a prove-it deal. So it's every reason to invest in him now. Nope. No. Get him out. Not
Just
doing
principle.
it. Todd Gurley is dead to me.
See, I like that spite.
Unless
That's
he has a good year, then we could talk. But
he's got to prove it to you. You're
gotta
part
prove
of
it.
that prove it
Yep.
contract. Yeah, you got 1 more year
Yep.
left.
So yeah, that's the fantasy football advice we can give for you this year. Hope you take it to heart because it's so consistent. There were absolutely no disagreements. Kitty, I think we need to figure out a bet for the Nick Chubb. We need to set
I
a
think we
line
do too.
somehow.
We'll figure something out.
Give me some vesting interest because I
We'll
don't know
get
if I have the
Mondesi for
balls
next
to.
year, and now Chubb for this year. Getting
We
some.
need
Yeah, I like
Need
these
a sink pisser to keep track of these bets for us.
That's good. I like it.
So yeah, that's going to do it for the clear the waivers this week. Before we get into shenanigans, I wanted to bring everybody their attention to the Heartland Pod again. Our old buddy Adam Summer started like a political podcast to help sort out any of the political issues that we're fishing today, especially those local to us. So in the past, he's had on teachers talking about the return to school, which was a great episode. I just listened to the sheriff's deputy talking about defunding the police, which was really, really interesting. And then his next guest, he actually has political candidates come on there. The next guest is going to be Lindsey Simmons, who's running for Congress. Him and a friend of the pod, Zach Schwartz, who's the lead singer of the Hollow Ends, does the intro and outro for us. He's currently working on his doctorate for political science. They kind of get together and talk politics quite a bit. And it's a little bit more they nerd out on politics like we nerd out on fried foods. That's their bar banter. We talk about how good pork tenderloins are, and they talk about really the important stuff. So I'd highly recommend go and check it out. It's very insightful, but not too Schlansky, if you will. So I'd highly recommend to go give the Heartland Pod a shout. You can find it anywhere your podcasts are provided. So go check them out. But yeah, let's get into shenanigans. We got a return of the DFA, so we get to bust this chestnut out again.
Chestnut.
It's a really good chestnut.
DFA is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. You've been dedicated and assigned. DFA is in the house tonight.
Very good stuff. Shout out
Breaking
Ricky.
news. Mahomes proposed at the ring ceremony tonight.
Oh, look at that.
Brittany Lynn, the happiest
Congrats
person
to
on
those
the earth.
kids.
Oh,
Yep.
good.
She's probably been waiting for that.
She served her time, man.
That's
High
right.
school sweethearts. She's done her time. She deserves
Ride
it.
or die.
And
Yep.
we are locked in, Casey. Let's
Yep.
go.
Nice work.
The first lady has been crowned.
That's right.
So let's get into DFA. Kitty, it's your question this week. I haven't assigned anybody, so just for the sake of it, let's go Rance and me, then Brian as the order.
Okay.
All right.
So with the MLB trade deadline just happening, I decided usually you get a lot of closers getting moved. So let's look at some save opportunities for these guys. Since the year 2000, there's
good
50
God.
saves have happened 12 times. 50 plus saves 12 times by 9 people. So 3 guys did it
God.
twice.
Ooh.
And then we've got 6 guys did it once. 50
Oh my
saves. There's some
God,
pretty-
2,000?
You've got it. I think the guys that are before, I don't think you should be able to get those guys.
So there's 9 answers.
9 people.
Oh my
Shit.
God.
Don't like this.
Okay.
This is not fun.
2,000.
Well, I'm going to say
I'll say there were, let's see, it was 6 times between 2000 and 2010, and then 6 times between 2011 and today. So you got a mix right there of you.
oh, that won't help me a bit.
Just you're not racking your brain too hard, just constantly trying to think of old guys.
I mean, my first thing is going to be Mariano Rivera.
Boom. Correctamundo. He did it. Let's see. He had 50 saves in 01 and 53 in 2004. There you go. You already got two names from the before times.
First name that came to
That
my
was
head was
Josh.
Eric Gagne.
Another 2-time save guy. 2002, 52, 2003, 55.
He was the first guy I wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys are just easy peasy.
Yeah, this
First
is
step.
super easy.
It
The
also
waivers
seems
start
like,
running out of names.
except for the the Hall of Famers like Rivera, a lot of these guys flame out so fast.
Yeah.
Like they'll be dominant for 2 or 3 years and then they're
Right.
done.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, let's go for maybe a flame out here with Craig Kimbrell.
With Atlanta, he got to 50 in 2013.
Good pick. I knew he was on like the
I mean, he is
all-time saves
basically-
list.
He's basically got no shoulder left, seems like, the way
Yep.
he can't get anyone out anymore.
Yep.
All right, back to Rance. Look at that. We already got 3 people down. Perfect.
K-Rod.
He is the all-time leader on this list with 62 in 2008.
That's a lot.
62 saves.
That is a lot.
That's a ridiculous year.
I don't know if he was still playing in 2000, but what about Trevor Hoffman?
I thought that guy would come up. He was still playing, but
But he
his
did not do it.
50 save year was 1998.
Ooh,
Oh!
Missed it by that much.
He got to 40. He got to 4. Let's see. Hold on. He got to 46 in 06. So close. Almost made it.
So I'm up. How about the guy that was absolutely ruined by Albert Pujols, Brad Lidge?
He did not make it. He was in the 40s twice, 42 and 41. But he did get ruined by Pujols. God, that was brutal.
Absolutely savaged by Pujols.
Pujols hit a ball about 580 feet off him in the playoffs and just never the same again. All right, Rance.
I just had a name come to my head, and now I
Yeah,
forgot
some of
it.
these names, now we're starting to get a little bit there's some interesting names on the list.
Wade Davis.
No Wade Davis. Let's see what he did.
Well, that year they won. I thought maybe he was up there pretty close, but I could
He
be
got to
wrong.
43.
He wasn't
in
a closer until September
43.
He got to 43 in 2018.
Okay.
with the Cubs.
I think that was Cubs. Yeah, I think so.
One strike for me, and
One for Rance.
I'll get 2 more pretty quickly.
I'm going to try another Dodgers closer, Kenley Jansen.
Kenley Jansen has not done it.
I have his
see
name down
that.
too.
47 in 2016. I mean, you guys are you're getting guys in the 40s, so you're all good guesses, obviously.
I feel like he's probably too injured to get 50 in a year, but he's the top name on my list. Aroldis Chapman.
Ah, damn it. That was my next guy.
He is not on the list. I don't even see him on the list that I pulled up, which got 40 plus mostly. And
I want to Google a name so bad. I need your guys' help when we get there.
all right, Rand.
Oh, God, a name just popped in my head. Joe Nathan.
Nice.
That's the
yeah,
one.
yeah.
That's the one.
Let's see where Joe Nathan.
He better be on there, you
I was
bastard.
like, Twins closer. Who's that guy that was there forever?
Let's see. Oh, wait, there he is. 47 in 2009.
Oh, no.
Then I'm clueless. I thought that was for sure a good one.
All right, so everyone's got 2 strikes, so
Yeah.
we should get a hint here.
Yep.
We still have 6. How many more names we got? 6 more names?
One guy's been
5.
up twice on the list too. You haven't hit.
5 more names.
I think he's the hardest one on the list.
Oh, no.
So let's see. 2 guys that are on the list. No, let's see here.
The names are so hard you can't even think of clues.
I'm trying to think of what a good clue would be. Well, 3 guys did it. Well, no, I guess 2 guys in the NL East. 2 guys from the NL East.
NL East?
NL East.
I don't like that
Okay.
clue at all.
No.
Ugh. I'm going to stay out of the NL East. Maybe go into the AL West of Troy Percival.
He did not make the list.
You
He's got 42 or
son of a
40 in
bitch.
2002.
Fine. I'm DFA'd.
How about NL East guy Familia?
There it is. Jerry
Nice.
Familia, 51 in 2016.
Just barely.
There's
Rants.
I don't have any idea.
Let's
There's
see.
another guy from the NL East.
One more NL East guy, and that man is retired.
I might have a guess at that now.
And then let's see here. I mean, the other guys, the active players are not on the team that got the saves with.
I believe that.
So, obviously with closers, got a lot of player team movement.
Shot clock rants.
John Rocker.
He did cross my mind.
Oh, it's the right team, wrong person.
All right.
I figured.
I think I got that name then.
So now that it's down to just BK, yeah, you can do a little crosstalk if you'd like.
Same team as John Rocker and NL East. How about John Smoltz?
Who was that?
It has
Did
to
he
be.
pitch that long?
I mean, we're going back 20 years, man.
Would have been
Yeah.
the end of his
Let's
career.
go, John Smoltz. Better than any name I got down.
2002, 55 for old Smoltzy.
What a boy, Smoltzy.
What do you guys think about Soria?
See, the guy that did it twice, I'll give you the team he did it for. The
Okay.
Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, this should be obvious then, right?
Benitez.
You would think it'd be obvious, but this name is
Armando
This is the-
Benitez.
Armando
man.
Benitez.
this was the name I thought was easily the one you would have the most struggle with.
Oh, I mean,
The Orioles were good long time ago. So
what about Darren O'Day? I don't know if he ever got
I
the
don't know if
closer
he-
role.
I don't think so. I mean,
Michael Givens probably didn't get the closer role.
thinking Armando Benitez.
I can understand why you keep saying that because it's so fun to roll off the tongue.
I'll go even one more. His first and last name start with the same letter.
This is the Orioles pitcher.
Orioles guy. Yep.
Is this the only
Darren.
one left?
No, there's two others, but if we can avoid focus on this, you want to go somewhere else.
I don't
I
know.
got one more name on my list since Fernando Rodney.
Trying to think here.
Do you guys remember?
I think Fernando Rodney's a great guess.
You guys remember Octavio Dotel?
Yeah.
He had a lot for the Diamondbacks when they were good, didn't he?
Closer for a long time. You're going to have to throw out one of those names, man.
Give me Octavio Dotel.
I don't have him on the list.
Damn.
Rodney got 48 twice. But-
Armando
all right.
Benitez.
Armando Benitez.
No, he got the 47 though. That was close.
Wow.
That ain't bad, yes.
One of the ones had a memorable pitch against the Royals in a World Series that turned the tide of a game. Where old Alex Gordon got into one on him.
That was
Familia?
We
familiar.
already
Yeah, we
said
said
Familia.
That's right. I had Edwin Diaz was the other guy with the Mets.
Oh, he got there.
Oh.
He did it with
did.
Seattle.
That
He did it with
Mariners
Seattle,
year.
though.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a very
And then,
good year.
Dumble Mark Melanson did it with the Pirates.
Oh,
You're shitting
Oh.
me. Melanson got 50.
then he got paid.
with the
Was
Pirates.
that right before he went to the Giants? He got paid.
Possibly, 'cause
Probably.
that was 2015 when he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
All
be
right.
nothing.
The same letter, it's letter J.
Nobody knows.
This that's just so stupid that he's done it
What
twice.
is-
Jim
Why did-
Johnson?
There it
Oh,
is.
That's it.
Jim
God
Johnson
dang it.
twice.
I haven't
Wow.
thought about that guy in forever.
It's been a hot
I was-
minute.
I was surprised. I looked at it. He was pitching into 2018 still a little bit. He was trying.
He wasn't even dominant. It was like
No,
every
he was
save was a hold your breath save.
Well, he was
Yeah.
just a ground ball pitcher, so he would never strike anyone out. So it was just all
Yeah.
these guys on base, and they get double plays and stuff.
Screw you, Jim Johnson.
Is that everybody?
That was it.
That was an interesting
Figured-
question.
That
I
was a
figured
tough
Jim-
one. We stunk it up pretty good.
I figured Jim Johnson wouldn't get found out.
Yeah, true.
We
He
didn't
gave
have
us
any
plenty of
really
hits.
bad guesses though.
No, most of the guesses you guys had guys that were getting
At
40.
least they were closers.
Yeah, except for one, but we actually had 50 saves. That was John Smoltz.
Yep. What a weird career that was. Let's get into the next game, the Waiver Watch waiting game.
Oh, yeah.
Watch waiting game. Waiver watch waiting game. Waiver watch waiting game. Waiver watch waiting game.
I heard that song on the radio the other day, and it stayed in my head for the next 72 hours. Quite a game there, quite a song that is. That's not what I want. All right, so Waiver Watch waiting game per usual. We all got either a TV show or a movie that we're bringing to the table. We're going to try to guess the Rotten Tomatoes scores with a blind guess. Last week was an unprecedented week. That was the best week of the Waiver Watch waiting game we have had.
It was so disappointing to not get first there last week. I thought I had it.
I think I won, so I'm going to go first with mine. And I was really proud of this one. I blew off the old VHS, the VCR. I went back to 1988.
What?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, my.
Ooh.
I thought this was a good one to kind of go all over the place.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Give me the critic score of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
All right. Let me go first here. I'm going to have to take a break here in a second.
I'm in.
Okay.
So let's start with Kitty.
I went with 72.
72.
Well, great movie.
Okay.
Wow.
17.
Brian?
What?
Yeah, let's go with Brian.
It's Brian's turn.
I mean, I'm kind of lost in this. I think people enjoyed it, but probably wasn't smart enough for some of the critics. So I'm going to say it's barely fresh at 67.
67. Rants?
God,
I put 45.
Okay.
I think that could be a very good guess.
That's why I love this one, because it was all over the place in my head. When I saw the score, I freaked out, for one thing. So that should tell you something.
Freaked out.
The audience score, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, was an 84. Makes sense. Audience score. Not bad.
It's a little high.
84, that's extremely high, is it not?
That's high.
But like Brian said, it's pretty well received. Everybody seemed to like it. The critic score was a 97.
What?
How many critics?
It was a lot.
What?
Holy crap.
I missed that by an ungodly amount.
We've got some points on the board right now.
Holy shit, it's right.
97.
I got doubled up.
We thought the audience score was too high.
So that might put me at an advantage because I had one that was like, it could have been anything. You could have told me it was a 12. I'd be like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
That's a great choice, Josh.
Well, screw you, Josh.
Yeah.
Trying to screw us over here.
Little gamesmanship. You guys better get on the board here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Trying to host.
Kitty's going to go next. He's at currently 25 points.
I thought I had my gamesmanship last week when I gave you the Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li. Josh was hot on my trail on that one.
My God, I watched that sizzle reel you sent me, and what a
Klein
shit
was
show
amazing.
Chris Klein was.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay.
Like I said in the chat, he's like, I got this cop film or got this cop audition coming up. What do you think I should do? Just watch CSI Miami all over the time and just repeat everything Horatio Caine says?
It's like Horatio Caine with Nick Cage energy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a great. Yep. That's
I mean, it's just bizarre.
You mean to tell me he didn't die?
This guy walks through the raindrops.
Rocks the raindrops.
That's the most ridiculous lines in the way. Perfect delivery.
Unbelievable.
Watch it as a comedy.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Anytime he's on screen, it's a comedic moment. It's great. So we're staying in the same genre, and we're going Mortal Kombat from 1995.
I love that. I love
we
that
got
movie,
old Mrs. Sampras, lead role here.
Veronica Vaughn.
From Billy Madison to Mortal Kombat. That's range right there.
Yep. Old Sonya Blade.
She basically retired to just be the mother of some super athletes, super hairy babies, probably with Pete Sampras's genes.
Yep.
I'm in.
Got to have that long blonde hair to offset the Pete Sampras Harry.
All right. I'm got it.
There.
I'm in.
I have
All
no
right.
confidence after the Roger Rabbit deal.
I'll just go straight to you then, Rance. Well, let's go straight to Rance with this answer. How are you feeling? What do you got for Mortal Kombat?
I put 37%.
All right. BK, let's go to you next.
I initially had it in the 30s, but then I just thought in my brain that they can't watch this and like it, can they? Audience might have liked it. Why would the critics like this movie? 14%, and that may be high.
All right. All right,
Well,
Josh.
I hope it's just a little bit higher because I said 15.
Oh, 15. Well, the audience gave it a 57.
That's not
That
good.
is not
So-
good. Does not bode well.
Not a great spot to be from the audience, but the critics were very close to the audience, and they went with 47.
Ah!
So some more big scores
Unbelievable.
this round. Ranch
I'm-
got pretty good
I'm
there.
still not even close to being back in the game.
You're only 1 point behind Brian.
I got rolled that first round.
Man, a 47. I can't. They're rebooting that, by the way. They're doing another one.
Of course.
A movie, not maybe, or some Amazon series or something.
Nope. I think it's a whole full blown movie. Full blownsies.
All right.
So I think Rance is like a 1 point lead on Brian, actually. Rance, you're up.
Okay. Well, I'm taking it back too, fellas. We're going back to 1988. Frank Dukes travels to Hong Kong to take on Chung Lee
Ah, what a beautiful movie.
in Bloodsport.
I've seen this movie so many damn times.
Kumite.
Kumite. Oh, wow.
I think about Bloodsport. I think about that scene in Hot Shots. Was it part 2? Where they're doing like the hand dipping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's an ice cream bar with the
Ice cream.
sprinkles and the caramel.
Bloodsport.
I'm in.
Oh,
All
man.
right.
Now I gotta.
Kitty, come on, man. You've seen this a bunch. I've seen it a bunch.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Okay. Who's up first here? Is it?
I think I'll go first. I went
Okay.
right down the middle with this one because I have no feel for this. I'm at a 50. Give me a 50.
Okay. Have you never seen Bloodsport?
No, I saw it. I just have no idea how it would be received by
Okay.
critics in 1988 or whatever the hell
Yeah.
you said it was.
Hard to
right.
say.
Alrighty.
Didn't they make like 5 Bloodsports?
Yeah, but the first one's really the only one that matters.
They made one with the cousin from Step by Step, old Sasha Mitchell. Was in
Sasha, yeah.
one.
The Codester. The
Codester.
Code Man.
He's actually a domestic abuser. That's fun.
Oh, how about that?
You know, talk
What's
about
that?
an upset of the century. Code Man.
Go ahead and cut that from the recording.
Who's up?
Am I up?
Sure.
All right. Well, first I'm going to give a shout out to one of the sync pitchers. Awning gave me the Mortal Kombat movie, so
Oh, yeah.
put his name out there.
Yep.
I think with this being a pseudo, I mean, it's based on a true story. I think that'll get the critics going a little bit too.
It is based on a true story. That is
Did not
true.
know that. How
I read that
based?
today.
How based is it?
Oh, it's right. Yeah, it's probably his personal
Right.
story.
His take
No
on
one,
it.
no, there's no verification process.
This one time I had a dream where we went to Bangkok.
Yeah, but you got Forrest Whitaker, Donald Gibb. I went high. I went with 80%.
Woo!
It's just so hard to say with 1980s movies anymore.
Mhm.
I went pretty fresh, but not too high. It was 66. Who Framed Roger Rabbit in 88 being the same year has got me all topsy-turvy. So I think the
Yeah.
critics were a little bit more forgiving,
What's gonna
obviously, with the 97.
Break your brain.
Yep.
Well, fellas, I mean, I thought it was a great movie. I mean, it's way better than Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but the audience only gave it a 74%.
Only. Yep.
Oh, no, that doesn't sound good either then.
And the critics did not really appreciate this movie too
No.
much.
Oh, not good.
40% for Frank Dukes and Bloodsport.
man. I'm just getting that raked me over the coals a little bit.
Not too good. That's
40%.
Good job, BK. Good work on that one.
Yeah.
Good,
Tight ball
good
game
little
here.
ball game.
Smart move, BK.
Yep. See if Brian's
Playing
got
it safe.
the gamesmanship
Right down
here.
the middle.
I laid
Yep.
up. All right, for my movie, it's a movie that we've talked about on this podcast probably months ago, but it's one of our favorite underrated comedies. And it came from 2001, Saving Silverman.
Oh, yeah.
Clayton.
Just some classic one-liners in that movie.
Lug nut.
You
Fix
just
it.
laugh.
Fixed it. If it's stuck together, it's one nacho.
It's one nacho.
I mean, I thought that was comedic, just hilarity.
I mean, Arlie Ermey's character was just gold,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Smart thinking.
J.D. McNugent.
I haven't. I don't see her in the back of the closet. I'll keep looking. Just eating spaghetti.
I burnt my balls with a Bunsen burner.
Remember when I came to prom? I had this tuxedo painted on me, and I got it wet, and everyone could see my dong.
Everyone can see my dong.
Josh, you were in the lead, so let's go to you first.
Yeah, this is tough. I feel like I've looked this up before, and I was okay with what they gave it. I got to do a little layup myself and say 67.
Okay. Next, let's go to Rants.
I went a little bit higher. I said 74%.
Okay. Kitty, what you got?
As someone that went to SU, I feel pretty good about my guess of 41.
That was a great line, too.
Subway University.
So good.
He said 41.
41.
Oh, it has to be better.
You think, but I don't
The
know.
fact that he just asked him about that makes me think it's real close.
Well, the audience score disappointed me.
Oh.
It became in at 51% to the
What?
audience.
Audience, what are you doing?
I don't
does
know
the
who
audience
watches
want?
that and doesn't enjoy the hell out of it.
Mug
good.
assholes.
You got Steve Zahn and Jack Black. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Amanda Pete's character's hilarious
Also
too.
great. Yep.
Yeah. He's
When
really
he
good
made
at
the charts at the beach about jerking off's gone up to
It's
gone
since he started
skyrocketed.
dating.
Skyrocket.
So the
It's
audience
at an all-time high. I'm chafing.
as much as the audience disappointed me, the critics really let me down.
Oh, no.
You guys are not going to like this.
30s?
18.
Oh,
Oh my.
100 critic reviews, and it's at 18% with critics.
that
18?
after last week, this was a real. Yeah, you guys aren't that smart as you think you are, week.
Yeah.
Very humbling on Rotten Tomatoes.
That was
Yeah,
a
he got
brutal week.
Brutal.
I mean,
it was
which
rough.
are you more disappointed in, audience or critics? I mean, 51% is stupid, but 18% is just like, what
I
are we doing?
expect that from the critics, but the
I don't expect
audience,
that low.
But
That's
not even
crazy.
that low from the critics.
It's not.
What is happening? Why?
So it doesn't feel like it's one of those just raunchy, gross out comedies that they really don't.
Let's
really
go to
enjoy
a
at
top
all.
critic here from Stephen Rea. This full-throttle sophomoric comedy still feels forced and phony at times, which undercuts the manic efforts of its cast. Get out of here, Stephen Rea.
So he appreciates the cast. He just thinks the lazy writing. I get it.
He
Yeah, whatever.
stinks. It was
I know what
hilarious.
he's talking about. Exactly.
one-liners for days.
The audience is one who needs saving, not the character.
Oh,
In this
get
latest
out of here.
entry,
Too-
and look how dumb
Too
I can
easy.
make comedies.
Too easy. He was so proud of that line too, and that when he wrote that.
God.
That
How
guys,
clever.
he
What
called all his
moron
fucking
wrote
pals.
that? Was that same guy?
That was Michael Dakina of themoviereport.com.
He's
Never
called
go to
all his
their
buddies.
website.
Guys, I got it.
I
figured
got
out.
it.
Be
Michael
sure to
McKean on the
watch
show.
the Rotten Tomatoes this week. I'm gonna nail this movie.
I hate them all so much.
Well, Brian pulls out that win, right?
By a landslide.
It was you only beat Kitty by 15, but
That's a
I'm the only
landslide.
one in double digits. You guys are all in triple digits.
I think I didn't have 88.
I have 88 on Kitty.
Calculate.
I guess Rance's huge number just scarred me there.
I just got.
I wasn't far
punished.
off. Wasn't far
I
off the
got
rant.
punished.
Oh my god, that was brutal.
My great strategic Who Framed Roger Rabbit absolutely out the door.
I mean, you did a great whip. It was great. I mean, I think the Roger Rabbit and Saving Silverman are two sides of the same coin.
Yep.
No kidding.
Yep.
As far
97.
as critics going crazy that can't even imagine that they would do that.
We're not going to do a waiver wire poll. We're just going to
Unfathomable.
be like, which one of these is the bigger upset?
Yep.
Unfathomable.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, whatever. Critics are stupid. We knew that.
Mm-hmm.
That's officially the first week that none of us, we all withheld the, yeah.
So funny.
Good for us. We're, we're
let the audience do it.
we're progressing as a podcast here right before everyone's eyes.
Another
Last week-
mouth-watering draft.
Another mouthwater. Last week we did the fried foods draft, which I did the graphic for it Monday morning, and boy, I needed to find me a Captain D's immediately. Give me some cracklins in
The
my blood.
cracklins.
The poll was not as kind to me. I thought I had a really solid draft, but maybe the tides have turned. Something is happening. Kitty has won 2 in a row.
Oh, look at that. Upset of the century.
It wasn't even close. Kitty won this in a
Really?
landslide.
Well, you got
Kitty.
fried chicken. That's the
It
king.
wasn't even
Obviously.
close.
It was not close. It seemed like everybody had at least one MVP pick in that group, and Kitty just had more, I think. But
I agree.
Not
Yeah.
enough people have tried risotto balls then.
yeah, he's
Exactly.
maybe Kitty has just got like 7 burner accounts now.
I don't
Yeah.
have time for that, Josh.
He's
You know that. Come
pandering
on
for
now.
votes.
Yeah,
Pandering to myself
This-
for votes.
he's won 2 weeks in a row. He win next week, and it's what we call a winning streak. Rance is going to be the second pick. I nudged Brian out for the third pick. Brian came in last.
Sure.
This will be Kitty, Rance, me, and Brian. And this week we are drafting chips. I'm not. We originally said potato chips, but I may have to.
Oh, you're gonna go
audible that.
wild card on us?
Maybe we're not. Some of us aren't necessarily using potatoes.
Okay.
So we're gonna draft chips this week. Kitty, you're the first pick.
I feel like no matter what I pick, I'm blowing it on this first one.
You probably eat a bunch of obscure smug chips.
Something from Japan.
Banana chips.
Don't worry, I've got. Oh, yeah, I'll take. I've done a lot of freeze-dried bananas in my day, so those banana chips they just
Yeah.
really hit the
Homemade.
spot about 3 p.m. when you're kind of starting to fade out at work.
His dehydrator's getting some really good exercise lately.
Ron Pope, he'll be proud of me. All right, I'm going a classic with a slight twist with the Cool Ranch Doritos. I love them. I was really a big fan of the Cool Ranch taco at Taco Bell as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just think it's a classic, good old potato chip for me.
That is a
That's-
classic.
That's going for votes right there.
Yeah.
That's well played.
I don't feel like it is going for votes. Maybe it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Maybe
I
Not-
don't
have
really
the,
believe that you feel like that's should have been your number one pick.
No.
You're strictly
Yep.
going for votes.
Uh-huh.
When he goes to the grocery
am-
aisle, he is not picking Cool Ranch Doritos. I promise.
I'm offended.
Uh-huh.
Offended by these accusations, these slings and arrows coming my way. About
As much as you've talked about hot and spicy chips, this and that shit,
I
you're
have
going to go with
purchased-
Cool Ranch Doritos.
I have purchased Cool Ranch Doritos multiple times in the past 2 months,
Hmm.
Mm.
so they are on my list.
Fine.
All right. I mean,
Yeah, don't believe me? That's fine.
draft strategy is what it is. It's not. He doesn't have to pick his favorite. There's no rules saying he can't. Little gamesmanship never hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Rants.
You're up.
This is my favorite chip. I mean, I could eat almost a whole bag of them, and that's the kettle cooked sea salt and cracked pepper.
Okay.
Oh, that was my
That's
number one on my
solid.
board.
They are absolutely delicious. There's a
Yep.
lot of good kettle cooked chips out there, but that to me is the best one they make.
Couldn't
Okay.
agree more.
The sea salt and the cracked pepper.
I have not gone for that.
Number one hit for me there.
I've not gone for that chip enough. I think I need to go revisit that one.
Oh, they're great if you put them even on like a turkey sandwich.
Oh yeah,
Right.
it's called
Give it some
texture.
crunch.
It's classic.
Yep, give it a little
That's
crunch.
a good
Yep,
move.
and
Yeah,
some
just-
seasoning too. Yep.
Yep.
Perfect.
That's one of those chips where if you do the fat guy move at the end of the bag and pour it,
Yep.
you're gonna regret that.
Make it real flat and just straight. And
Yep.
just
You're gonna regret that because all that pepper found its way to the bottom, and you're basically macing yourself. You might watch out for that. But
So
it's
you've
a
tried
great
that
pick.
maneuver.
I mean, you know,
It sounds like something you should
look
top
at
off
me.
Bloody Mary with that sea salt
There you
cracked
go.
pepper.
Yeah.
I
Leave
think
it at
that'd
the
be
bottom of the
great.
bag.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. Shout out to Dan at District. Get on that.
Put it on your risotto balls too.
There you go.
Just a nice crumbling.
Rance, I thought you were going to take my pick, which is the kettle cooked salt and vinegar.
Damn it.
I thought that I'd be able to get the sea salt and black pepper come back to me later, but I don't think I'll be able to get sea salt and vinegar kettle cooked back to me.
No, it wasn't coming back.
It is awesome, and
Yeah.
I'm not big on vinegar. I don't like it that much, but boy, that flavor of chip is delicious.
It's good on a chip.
Yep, it works.
And then it kind of just sticks to your hands. It just
Yes, it
stays
does.
there.
Have you guys eaten so much that your tongue hurts?
No.
Not gone
okay.
that far.
I probably haven't quite made it that far.
Well,
The night is young, though.
Your
I mean,
tongue hurts.
I just came
Like
back
it's
from
sore or
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
raw?
like I just
Off all
licked
the
an acid
pepper and
lollipop.
all the vinegar and salt in there.
Like I just went out to a forest and found a salt lick and just licked on it for 6 hours.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that from eating too many sunflower seeds, but not salt and vinegar
Yeah.
chips.
Yep. It's a real struggle for guys like me. I
All
mean,
right.
look at me. You can't look at me and be like, that guy has most definitely eaten so many chips that his tongue hurt.
Fine.
I'll-
I'm
I have a
not
new
ashamed.
pair-
I'm not
I have
ashamed
a
body
new pair of
shamer.
glasses to wear, apparently, when I go out and see people. That guy's eating a lot of chips. Why his tongue hurts.
Brian.
I've spoiled this pick before on the podcast by
Yep.
taking our snacks draft with my favorite chip, and it's not going to win me votes, but I got to stay true to me, Kitty. when I
This is just this is awful.
There's
When
some
I-
unwritten rules of this draft that I am not on board with.
when I'm hosting a party or I'm going to a football party or a March Madness party, and I go to the chip aisle, every time I'm bringing a garden salsa sun chip. It's just going to happen. It's going to get a bag of those, and I'm probably the only one going to eat them, and I'm going to eat the whole bag by myself. But I love those chips. They're not greasy. You can just eat 1,000 of them, and you somewhat feel healthy eating a
They're-
multi-grain chip.
It says sun. They're got to be good for you.
It's made
Yep.
from the sun. Yep.
They're also
Yeah.
on my list, Kaiser. They
Okay,
were on
good.
my list.
Thank
Those are
God.
the best sun
I
chip.
like the sun chips.
I may have turned you on to those.
I think you did.
Okay, number 2, let's wrap around. And Josh stole my second pick with the salt and vinegar. So I'm going to take the second best kettle cooked chip, and that's the barbecue to me.
Yep.
I
Good
love
too.
the barbecue.
It's good too.
You can't go wrong with kettle cooked, but it's somehow the barbecue's kind of got lost in the sauce a little bit as far as like people kind of forgot about it. And then you go to a party, go to a Super Bowl party or something, and you grab a couple of those things, like, God damn, I need to eat like 50 of those. The kettle cooked barbecue are up there.
Yeah.
Good
That's
one.
my second pick.
Yep.
Those are good.
And those don't have, like, if you get the regular Lay's barbecue, they give you like a weird aftertaste.
Yep.
And I don't get that
Right.
from at all from the kettle cook.
I just don't like, and the thinness of that Lay's is
Mhm.
off-putting.
Yep. Off putting. Gross. Get them
So-
away from me.
So off-putting.
I just shoved the bag across the table. Get these out of here.
Oh my god.
Just dump them out on the table and just start smacking them. I'm going to go with mine. My second pick is going to be regular crunchy Cheetos.
No.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Absolutely.
Are you stoned?
It's the gift that keeps on giving, Brian.
They're
You get the
good too.
chips. You go to town on the chips, and you might eat a whole bag. Guess what's afterwards? Dessert. Cheesy dust on them fingertips. Desserts on those fingies. Give me crunchy Cheetos.
I think that's a bust for a pick.
You're a bust for a human.
Wow, escalated quickly.
Tough. God damn.
What a crab.
No other commentary on my crunchy Cheetos. Seems pretty.
No, I like Cheetos. I like
Cheetos. I just
I like them a
other.
lot.
I like
Great.
other Cheetos way more.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Thanks, guys.
So
I'll
does
see you
my
later.
1.5-year-old daughter. Loves them. Just
Okay.
seems like something for a little maybe toddler, not like a man's chip.
I've had that adds up. I got a palate of a 1.5-year-old.
Not
Makes
a
a
man
lot
chip.
of sense.
Oh, that's great.
Not a man chip. All
Shots fired again.
right, Rance, give us your man chip.
Yeah, I probably dug myself a hole here.
Yep.
My second pick, I'm going with the
Terrible.
Ruffles.
Awful.
Ruffles.
Just the worst.
Cheddar and sour cream.
I mean, not even kidding. That is the worst one ever.
No,
Not
it's
even
not.
kidding.
No,
Those
it's
are
not.
delicious.
Those are not.
on my
Josh, you
list.
seem like you're upset now
On my
about the
list.
Cheetos deal. Ruffles, cheddar, and sour cream. I mean, those are right up there.
Well, I saw
I've
them high
never
on a
seen
lot of
those make
lists.
it through a party. Those are
No
good.
way. No way.
Those are top notch, man. That is a true man's chip.
And that's another one that I totally forgot about until, like you said, you go to a party and somebody else brought them, and you're
Yep.
like, holy shit, that's a delicious
They're
chip.
good. Great flavor.
Way better than Cheetos.
Yep.
It is absurd. The amount of heckling I'm already getting from a completely fine chip. Completely fine.
Josh, the problem is there's still way better chips about it that are still there.
Well, whatever. All right, fine. Fine.
Enjoy your no votes.
Kitty, back to you.
Yeah, since I already got my number 7 on my list, I can probably go back higher on my list.
Yeah, you can.
And I am going with the Flamin' Hot Limon Cheetos.
Now that's more like you, man.
Yep.
Something nobody else eats.
From the heart.
Yeah.
I knew I could get that pick too. You guys aren't taking that chip. It's galore. It's too good for you guys. You don't understand. I know Rance won't touch it. He won't even look at the bag.
no.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Wouldn't even look at it.
So I figured I had to get it. I knew BK's taking a Sun Chip one.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
for children. Flamin'
Josh was
Hot
the wild
Chili
card there for
Limon
me.
is for children, obviously.
Josh drafted his defense in the second round.
God, you're relentless.
Unbelievable.
I mean, Josh, say something.
I think it's a completely legitimate, and I've laid that argument out. I have nothing else to say. Everybody in their right minds knows that it's a perfectly fine chip. You're not going to put anybody off by having a regular crunchy Cheetos.
If they're at the party, people are going to eat them. They'll be good. All right. So
I don't
then
need your
back
sympathy.
around,
I don't need your sympathy logic.
just trying to help you out.
Don't
Josh.
jump on my ship now. You try
I'm
to
just
burn it
I'm
along
throwing
with
you
these other
I'm
Mongols.
throwing you part of the life vest on that one. Just a little bit of what you'll still be struggling for a while.
Spitting on it.
I'm taking one of my favorite chips of all time, jalapeno crunchers. Oh, I
What?
love those things.
Oh, the
Crunchers.
kettle
Crunchers, the green, like the dark green bag, just
It's for
Yeah.
old men.
Oh, it's made by like guys or something?
the guy.
What
Yeah,
is-
I think so.
They
bag-
were the
bag-
first ones to pump out kettle cooked.
Yeah, they were one of the early ones, and that bag would always look so much bigger than what was inside it. That was the only real
Pork chips.
downfall of it. Yeah, well, got about half a bag here of a small bag of chips and this giant bag of chips, but all right, still a jalapeno cruncher, and I loved them.
Are they better than
I
the
like
kettle
that.
cook, like the regular kettle cook brand? Those are good.
I like them.
They're probably similar.
Probably
of a
nostalgic to him.
nostalgia stick
Yeah.
more than anything for me that I just had eaten so many of them growing up.
Yep,
Makes
that's
sense.
fair.
Okay,
Who
Brian.
we got? Rance?
Or, I'm sorry,
Me
Rance.
turn. Me turn.
Me turn.
Me turn.
You are back and teaching little kids again,
I've
aren't
been
you?
around my daughter too much.
I'm glad you're the bearing of what is a man thing and what is not.
Good thing I'm teaching the youth of today. Me
Yep.
turn.
Me turn.
Me turn to choose chip. Oh, heaven help me. I'm going with, I don't really like Lay's, but I really like this flavor a lot. So it's the Lay's dill pickle.
Hmm.
I
Oh, yeah?
love dill pickle chips. Like there's a brand like Miss Vickers I found in the grocery store that makes the little bags of the dill pickle chips, and they're pretty good.
I think
But
Jimmy
Lay's-
John's does Miss Vickers, right?
So it's not bad. I
sounds
love the
right.
flavor. I don't really like Lay's as far as like how thin they are, but I always like a good dill pickle chip. So that's my thing.
I'm on board with that.
That sounds amazing. I have not had a dill pickle chip yet. I need to get on that
You
stat.
love pickles, Kitty. You need to get
I
on
do.
that, man.
I can't get enough pickles except they're fried. Disgusting, but pickles on their own, amazing.
I agree. They're good.
That's shocking. I'm just scared to death to make another pick.
Josh is terrified to even choose.
Classic.
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You can do this. Don't be
You wanna-
so dejected.
I'm
You want to trade your pick for want to give us another pick, and you can trade it for one of our better ones.
Trade back. I'm gonna go with the honey barbecue flavored twist from Fritos. They used to be the Texas barbecue with the grill marks on them, and then they're
Damn
like,
it.
you know what? We should twist these things up.
Josh, that's such a better pick.
Those are so good.
I
Thank
thought
God.
for sure I could get that one with the last pick.
I've been
are
fighting
so
for your
good.
guys' approval this whole night, and finally I get it. Thanks
Good
again.
job, man.
Honey
They were on
barbecue
my list,
flavored
Josh.
twist coming
On my list.
in clutch for me.
Those are amazing.
God, there's another one because they give you those small bags too.
Yeah.
So you just crush those. I mean,
is that all they make them in? Is the small bags, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
But I
I've
feel like
never
the-
seen a big
but-
bag. I've never seen a big bag.
But
Give me a
those small
party size.
bags aren't but they don't have as much air as those bigger bags you
yeah.
get. Like
They're
they're probably
pretty
just the amount
full.
of chips.
They go to the tippy top.
I agree.
I just don't understand why they market them now. Are they better as twist form, or are they better in their old form with the grill marks?
I don't recall the grill mark ones. I know
Me
I've had
neither. I've only
twist.
remembered the twist one,
Hmm.
and they are good.
Yep.
So I'm going another small bag chip with my third pick, and it's kind of hard to find, but once you find them, they're a delicacy. And it's the TGI Fridays cheddar bacon potato skins.
God, those are
They
so
still make
damn
those?
good.
I thought those
They
were
st-
grotesque.
They're disgusting.
Oh, you're crazy.
so
Those
They
are.
are disgusting.
I thought I might get that as the last pick. I was looking forward to
They
it.
don't
Those
make
are
those
so
anymore, do they?
oh
amazing.
yeah,
Oh,
they were in
yeah.
our cafeteria.
They make them. Yeah, they were in our vending machine at
machines.
the office.
Yeah.
That's where you find
They
them
are
most. The vending
vile.
machines.
They are
Oh,
Crazy.
vile.
Those are amazing. I love those things. They have that great little weird boat shape to them, or whatever you want to call it. Long,
Yeah,
extra
you know
long
everything
oval.
in boat shape form tastes yummy.
I mean, it's
Mm.
kind of weird to think because it comes TGI Fridays, but when you eat one of those chips, you feel like you're eating a fancy, like expensive chip. I mean, it's, 'cause
Right,
it's
yeah.
a little thicker and it's
Yeah.
got delicious flavor, even though these two idiots don't appreciate it.
That seems
the-
harsh.
Boat shaped, and they taste like a boat.
Oh,
They
they're
don't
so
taste
good.
like a boat.
They are.
They're
so
pretty
good.
cardboardy,
They're
right?
so
Oh, God.
cardboardy, hard
That's
out.
because they're not cardboard. It's a little thicker.
Okay, last pick, and I'm stealing one of Kitty's favorites. I can't believe he didn't take it one. It's the Doritos Spicy Sweet Chili, the
Yep.
purple bag.
Those are really good.
They're delicious. I
Those are amazing.
I thought about going with the classic spicy nacho, but when you go head to head, I mean, it doesn't compete with the spicy sweet chili. The spicy
Yep.
you just keep eating those all day long.
Kitty, I thought you said in the snacks draft that was your favorite chip.
Things change, Josh.
He's made that choice. He's made
You
a
know,
change.
once he
He's gone with
started eating
Doritos
those,
now.
he finally
Once I
started
went-
jumping on board with Cool Ranch.
Once
I
I went
mean-
back in my Cool Ranch wave, I remembered how delicious those were, and I've been pounding the hell out of those things for a while.
He rediscovered the Cool Ranch.
But when you do go get the Lay's dill pickle, also get a Lay's Flamin' Hot because you like spicy
Okay.
stuff, and those are legit spicy. And
Gotcha.
once you start flipping those in your mouth, you can't stop either. I mean, they
Hmm.
have legit heat to it, and they're very good. I didn't think anybody else was going to take those.
Lay's is getting out of hand with their flavors, by the way.
Yep. Except
Yeah.
Biscuits
like
and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy. They had
Right.
Southern
We don't-
fried chicken and ketchup.
Yeah.
Ketchup is like a highly rated
They had a
one.
ketchup one.
was the one that like it was apparently it's been in Canada for years.
Yeah.
I keep hearing. We
Yeah.
never were like Americans love ketchup. Like why wouldn't they put
Yeah.
that in the United States? That's ridiculous.
I have no desire to eat those.
I want to try them just to see what they taste like. It can't just be ketchup. It's got to have something else, and it's got to be something else to it that makes it everyone like them so much.
I got to go back and be true to my heart, which is more or less clogged at this point with pig
Cheeto
fat, and I'm going pork rinds. Barbecue pork
Yep.
rinds is going to mine. Let's change that. I like the hot and spicy pork rinds because they don't burn the house down, but they do have a really good kick to them. Plus, I mean, it's such an adventure. It's the biggest adventure when you open up a bag of pork rinds because you might get the little crunchy ones that are challenging, or you might get a little soft fella.
You might get one that breaks your teeth.
Yep.
It's just one of those chicharrones bags. Is that what you're going
Yep.
with?
Chicharrones? Yes. So give me some hot and spicy pork rinds for my final pick.
That was on my list.
Pig fat.
That was a nice chip that BK and Mika introduced me to. The chicharrones.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
They need to have more flavors of those. Why is it only like just regular hot and spicy and barbecue? It seems like there's
That's a good
there's
question.
an open market for that. Shark Tank, here we come.
That's right.
We're ready.
It's going to be part of our food truck that we bring to the stage. Rants.
Well, my last pick is I'm going with the Fritos chili cheese.
Yep. This is one Josh.
Josh is against
understand.
it.
Hate it.
I
don't
really
get-
like
I don't
it.
understand
I
that.
don't
It's
have
so
I
good.
don't have it very often, but when I do, I eat a ton of them. I think they're delicious. I know. I mean, Fritos really don't make a lot of just they make Fritos and they make Fritos chili cheese, and that's about it. But I mean, why don't they?
It's not,
make
yeah, they
any
don't have the
other-
options.
Why don't they crank out any more flavors? But I really
Yep.
enjoy Fritos chili cheese.
I like them at first. Like I get, the first 35 is really good, but when I hit the second 35, that's when problems start to come in.
They do put a lot of seasoning on those suckers.
They do.
They do
There's
have a
some-
lot.
They can be loaded up for sure.
Have they
Be
started
a
putting
bit
those
much.
at chili pies in at Sonic? Seems like that's a missed opportunity if they haven't.
It's a
Right.
no-brainer.
Chili cheese Fritos with chili pies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh.
I've never, mind blown. I've never even thought of that.
Do they have a suggestion box online?
All right. Kitty, bring us home. Final pick.
All right, I'm gonna go a little off the map here with this one. Gotta do at least one pick. That's kind of odd,
Sure.
crazy. And this was a chip I got at the Jersey Boys sub restaurant, 151st and Metcalf, and it was
Shout
a Zapp's Voodoo New Orleans style kettle chip. So you can just with the words voodoo, you kind of you're getting into some spice on that one too.
Mm-hmm.
This nice hot spicy chip called
Cajun?
Zapp's
Like Cajun
Voodoo.
seasoning?
Not really.
Because I can mess with some Cajun seasoning.
I'm not sure how to describe it, but I thought they were damn delicious. I don't really ever see them anywhere else except at that one sub place when I got them.
Jersey Boys is good. I'll go for just the Jersey Boys, but if I can get me a New Orleans chip, I'm in.
Yeah.
Nary
I've
a
seen
Pringle taken.
Give
It's on my
myself
list, but I figured I'd
my,
get just absolutely just.
I had Pringles pizza.
Yep.
I had sour cream and onion.
It just wasn't high enough, I guess. I thought for sure somebody would take
I
a
was
Pringle.
shocked that you didn't take those cheddar jalapeno Cheetos, BK.
They are good. But I think
No
I'm
Funyuns.
back on you with bullshit with the Flamin' Hots are better.
I had Funyuns on my list. I love those things.
Yeah.
Even the Flamin' Hot Funyuns are good too.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
A chip that
Flamin' Hot
I
Funyuns.
was just brought back to life in my book is the hot fries.
Oh,
I haven't had hot fries in a long time.
I know what you're talking about.
I think I had those. I think that was in a variety pack of the hot chips someone brought into the office
Yeah.
one
I
time.
think I maybe ate one of those once.
That
It's
sounds
such a unique flavor.
Yes.
Nothing else in the world tastes like a hot fry.
Yep.
It's
Like
so
spice
unique.
and regret.
Spice and air.
Yep. It's like a fluffy Cheeto with
Crunchy
really
air.
hot dust. Yep.
Well, then and one of the discontinued chips I had on my list was the old hint of lime Tostitos they used to have.
They're discontinued?
That's what I saw. I thought I read
Oh,
that.
they
when I
still
was-
make them. I've
They
got them in my
got to,
cabinet
okay.
right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
those are
maybe
delicious.
some website lied to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you gotta go back out there and get those. Yeah, those are great,
are good.
even by themselves or when you get with salsa.
See, that's the stipulation we made. We said no pretzels. We said
Right,
no
but I'm
pretzels. We
saying
said no
I would-
mixes, and we said no dips.
I would eat. I would eat the.
should have specified that.
I would eat the hint of lime
Uh-huh.
on their own.
Yep.
They're good.
Absolutely.
I absolutely have done that.
That's why I want to see a lime pork rind, Josh. I want to see what that's
Ooh.
about.
That
Do
could be
they
good.
have those? That sounds like a Trader Joe's thing. Shout
Trader
out
Joe's. Let's see. Let's go.
Final shenanigan for the evening.
What to watch on TV? It's got to be something I've never seen. Waiver Watch.
Waiver Watch for the week. I'm going to lead off again. I think this is like the 5th or 6th time in a row that I've led off the Waiver Watch game, but I'm very excited about these. So when I had my first kid, we just had a super dark room in the middle of the night, rocking them back to sleep, and that's how we kind of got by. I have upgraded my life, and now we have a rocker recliner, and I have taken my headphones and my phone, and I watch a lot of things while I'm rocking this kid to sleep. And they're both good and bad things. This one I brought to the table is a new Hulu original movie called The Binge. I don't know if anybody's seen this.
Never heard of
Oh,
it.
it's got Vince Vaughn in it.
It's Vince Vaughn. Yep.
Yeah.
He's like a side character. He's not even the main one, but he got back to comedy with it, which is really good. But it's basically they took The Purge and Superbad and put them together. Where basically all drugs and alcohol are outlawed except for one night a year, and anybody 18 or over can partake. So it follows 3 kids that are friends and they've never binged before, and this time they're going to binge because they're finally old enough, and it's a coming of age, get to the party. It's awful. It's really, really bad. There's some funny parts. I wouldn't recommend it, but it has some funny parts. Vince Vaughn, return to comedy. He gets back to like the Wedding Crashers and old school Vince Vaughn, and he is actually really good in it. So if you want to see that again, go check it out. Otherwise, it's currently at a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics, and that might be too high.
Okay.
So the Purge or the Binge, I wouldn't suggest it, but if you need something mindless and a little bit,
You want to
funny,
hate watch?
yep, then go check it out. Let's go to Kitty.
All right. I was watching more. I'm going to go back to True TV. It's been good to me in the past. It's still good to me. A lot of good shows on that channel. Check it out,
Practical
everybody.
Jokers, shout out.
Everything except that show. And
Which
fun.
they're coming to the Sprint
Everything
Center,
except
and I
that
think it's
show
sold
sucks.
out. What
No,
kind of
I
show
actually-
are they doing at the Sprint Center?
I went and saw them with Dan at Starlight. They kind of just go on stage, do some comedy when they're up there, and then show some clips. Kind of never before seen stuff.
Awful.
So it's enjoyable, but
It
Did
is.
you laugh at all?
yeah, I did. I even heckled a little bit. It was fun. It's a good time.
They seem to be 2 ends of the spectrum.
All right, but my show this week on True TV is kind of a send up of all the shows, all the home shows where you got the people cooking or home improvements, or kind of just it's At Home with Amy Sedaris.
Oh God,
Don't think I've recommended this one before, but maybe I
you
did.
love
But
Amy Sedaris.
she was on Strangers with Candy as Jerry Blank, and this is her new show. So she's been pumping out. It just had season 3 just came out, so I don't know when they filmed it, but thank God it just came out. Got some new TV to watch, and 10 episode seasons. Got a lot of great guest stars coming in. Michael Shannon makes an appearance. Michael Cera.
Wow.
So
Sarah
just,
seems like a pretty obvious candidate for that show.
yeah, he fit in pretty well.
Speaking of, I watched This Is the End with the kid already.
Oh God,
Sarah's great in that.
he's amazing on that.
I don't mean to hijack your Waiver Watch. Keep going.
No worries. But it's just a little kind of like a fake Martha Stewart type show, and
She'd be good at that.
just a bunch of stupid situations she puts herself in, and her guest stars. She plays, I think, let's see, she has 4 roles she plays in it. So it's kind of fun where they have
Also sounds
basically
right.
her playing against herself in some scenes where she's having a conversation with another person that she's playing. So it's good stuff.
Interesting. At Home with Amy Sedaris.
Yep.
Deal. Okay. Rance, you look bored. You go.
No, I'm listening. I'm
You
listening.
fell asleep 10 minutes ago.
Oh, no.
It's like it's one of Kitty's dumb shows he watches. He tries to think everyone else tries to watch. No one fucking likes him.
Give us your pick, bud.
I've been watching a lot of sports, but I did come across this show on Showtime that I've been watching. It's called We Hunt Together. It's kind of like a modern day, seemed like Bonnie and Clyde type deal. It's British. It's got murders. If I'm not watching sports, I'm watching killings. And
British.
Murders, so.
British is a little Schlansky. That's a little Schlansky for you.
I know. All the characters are British, so I know it was kind of different for me. But this lady is an escort. The guy is a bouncer. He sees her being, in the first episode, sees her being attacked. Well, they come up with a plan. They end up killing this guy, and then it just kind of ensues from there. Just they get deeper and deeper. More murders are happening. They're being investigated by these detectives. Showtime really makes some pretty good shows that nobody really ever talks about too much.
Yeah.
And we don't have HBO or Cinemax, but we have Showtime from when we were watching Ray Donovan and Homeland. So I got watching that show. So
Yeah.
Yep.
What's it called? We
Hunt
Hunt Together.
Together. Yep.
Okay.
Not bad.
Deal. All right.
I feel like I may have seen an ad for that somewhere, but it sounded familiar. But no Showtime at my house, so
Mm-hmm.
a little rough for me.
Brian.
I'm going
What do you
back
got?
in the garbage this week.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure
every other week you're back in the garbage.
Back in
you
the
watch-
dumpster.
You watch something serious one week, then like, all right, that was a good week. Now we got to go back to this kind of mindless garbage TV. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Back in
Well,
the dumpster.
Well, the thing is, I watch both all the time. It's just which one I choose to talk about. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I'm not alone and the only one lucky enough among you guys and the listeners to be able to have the opportunity to watch Bravo shows while sports are going on the second TV.
Well said, by the way.
So we're watching Bravo this week. We watch Below Deck every Monday night.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
like
caught up
that
on
a
that.
lot. Yep.
The second
Shout out
time,
Aisha.
the second time Johnny Damon has made an appearance as a
Uh-huh.
primary guest.
Oh, look at that.
And it is nonstop entertainment because him and his wife and their friends just get completely fucked up the entire time. They're falling all over the place. They're yelling at people. The first time they came on as charter guests at the dock, they almost got in a fight with the people that were on the other boat.
Yep.
No shit. Damon's a maniac like
So
that?
Damon
wife-
seems fine.
his
His
wife's a
wife is crazy,
shit
and his
talker.
friends are terrible people.
They are assholes.
Jesus.
But it's so entertaining. They broke up his charter into two. So if you didn't see
Oh,
last
God.
Monday, the second half's coming up this Monday. They always show the one from week before, right before it. So get caught up on the Johnny Damon shit if you haven't already. But at this point, Below Deck, you're either in it or you're not. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out Johnny Damon's family and friends are highly entertaining on Below
Yep.
Deck.
There's something. They are something. Speaking of garbage television, Brian, we haven't talked about this, but the Married at First Sight this season.
Oh, yeah.
Are
I'm
they
in
the
on it.
worst grouping of people that they've ever gotten for that show?
I mean, the two weirdos they paired up might be
Perfect.
the best pair they've
Yeah.
ever had.
Ever. Yep.
I think
I
I've seen
mean-
clips of that on the Soup. I think of that.
Probably.
The guy that was talking about how he named like the trash cans in his house when he was a kid. Is that show?
I mean, that sounds perfectly right up that guy's alley.
Well, they're two, like, definitely, I don't know what you describe them as, except weirdos.
Quirky.
She showed up to the wedding in her wedding dress, and her head veil or whatever the thing had a bird in it.
Like a
And then-
live bird?
Nope, just like a fake bird,
Oh.
just on top of her
damn.
head.
I do
And
want
then-
a live bird in it next time.
And then
though.
the first night that they showed them sleeping together, he wears a dress to bed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the guy. That was the
Maybe
guy in the
it's a
Soup.
nightgown
Yeah.
or a moo-moo.
it's a moo yeah. It's
And
like
then
a
he
long
showed-
oversized
He
t-shirt.
showed all the reasons why by stretching out. Well, he could stretch out with his legs and his
It was
arms.
so stupid.
But they're
mean,
perfect for each other, man.
Oh, they are absolutely perfect.
I mean, like I was watching that clip and she was eating it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Couldn't get enough of him talking about that.
They're in love with
shirt
each other.
dress.
They might be
That's
the best
crazy.
pairing they've ever had on the show's history.
And also the most obvious. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you come through the door like, okay, that's an easy win. That's an easy W. But the rest of them are so awful. They're so boring. They have no chemistry, and they're just toast. I mean, it's donezo.
Yeah.
There's one other couple on there that might have a future, and the rest of them are just dead men walking type of thing.
Usually when they pick terrible couples together, they at least create some kind of entertainment with their yelling at each other and shit like
Yep.
that. But like you said, just kind of boring
Yep.
outside the weirdos.
Is that the show where the guy had no neck and he told his wife to brush her teeth because her breath stunk?
That was-
so
was
high
terrible.
hell? And come to find out she had an ulcer. That guy? Is
Yeah.
that show?
That was
nice.
90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
God, you want
old
to talk
no
about
neck Ed.
what a miserable show.
Yeah.
No neck Ed.
And he's like
mom-
the face. He's like the face of the show now, right?
Oh, yeah. His mom nicknamed him Pony.
Oh no,
Why?
You want to know why?
because genuine.
God,
Ride the pony.
that's funny.
Yeah, that's something we haven't broke into, but it's probably on the horizon at some point. So yeah, that's going to do it for the Clearing Waves podcast. On that note, we'll end the week on No Neck Ed. It seems to be pretty organic.
Great ending.
Yep. If you dug us, go check us out on social media. We're at Clearing Waivers at most of the locations, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the good stuff. Give us a shout out or review, rate us, subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. You can search Clearing Waivers Podcast and find us. Go ahead and subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Share it with a friend. Share it with a family member. I mean, we're a pretty wholesome group. Might as well share it with your mom. I mean, they'd probably dig it. So we appreciate all the support the Sink Pistons have given us over the year. We're coming up on a year. I mean, I think right now is when we started doing the shadow episodes that nobody heard. So we
Or
might
need to be here.
I think we recorded like 5 times and 3 of them were lost due to technical difficulties. No big deal. But Adam Summers John Madden impression or John Gruden impression hit the cutting room floor on that one. But yeah, we've almost been a year. We'll probably try to do something special for the Sink Pistons out there that have stuck around for us that long for that year anniversary. But yeah, we do appreciate all the support. Please continue to do so. Share it with a friend and family. We want to thank you all for everything you've done for us. But for Kitty and Brian and Rance and myself, we appreciate you. Have a great week. We will see you next time. Ta-ta for now.
The day is done. Now the night has begun. Nerves in a restless crowd. The burning sun. Now nowhere to be found. Deep underground. 'Cause I have faith that nobody else can protect you, no. A page is burning, we'll all be dead under virgin snow. I have faith that nobody else can protect you, no. A page is burning, we'll all be dead under virgin snow. So hold your body close to the flames. Don't go so haughty, walking away. Hold your body So hold your body close to the face. Don't go somebody walking away. Oh, hold your body close to the flame. Don't go somebody walking away. Oh. Hold your body close to the flame.